Tony, thank you for joining us here on the interview. And so, Chase and Dale, who wants to do the honors of the introduction?
Oh my God, either one of us could do this guy. I'll go ahead and take it, man. A number of us exited out to do a group called The Party, and they hired a bunch of new, talented Mouseketeers, and these guys just kept getting more and more talented as they came in. And Tony came in swinging a guitar, and kind of one of the guys that came in playing an instrument as well, could sing, and just a beautiful heart, beautiful personality. I mean, the guy speaks poetry, and after to me, after the show, Tony and I did a lot of growing together musically, and helped each other in Hollywood a lot, supported each other, and still to this day. But one of my best friends. So here we go, Tony Lucca.
Lucca.
Tony,
Nice.
thank you for joining the interview. So obviously we're here to celebrate the 30-year anniversary event in Florida for the Mickey Mouse Club reunion. And so we'd love for you to share with our audience and readers a little bit about your story and how you became a Mickey Mouse Club member.
Yeah, right on, man. It's kind of a funny story that's been told numerous times by now, I'm sure. But I had gotten a call about an audition for Newsies when Disney was casting for that musical Newsies that they did. And I was like, oh, that could be kind of cool. I wasn't in theater. I wasn't in film and television at all. I was in a garage band up in Detroit. And so I went to go in for the audition, and they didn't have me on their roll call. Like they weren't expecting me. And they said, you might be here for the Mickey Mouse Club. And I was like, no, I'm not here for the Mickey Mouse Club. I can promise you that. Like, well, you might want to just check in with them because maybe someone got the signals crossed. Meanwhile, you're not really what we're looking for right now. We're casting for other age kids, and you don't really quite fit the description. Wow. Ouch. Well, okay, and then I was like, let's go. My mom said, well, we should at least check in with the Mouse Club people and see if they are expecting you out of respect, see what's up. And okay, so we went. Sure enough, they were expecting me, and I was like, okay, well, fine, but I'm not going in, and I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go in audition for the Mouse Club. And it was my sister who was there, and she was like, come on, don't. And I think her words were, don't be a jerk. I was like, oh, I want to be a jerk. I don't want to go and audition for the show. And so I went in for the audition and met Matt Casella, who I'm sure everyone's kind of mentioned. Matt is just, my God, what an eye, huh? He really saw some talent, just so happy and honored to have been one of the kids in his path. But, it was funny because I remember standing there, I was chewing gum, and he puts me on camera and he says, so just state your name and where you're from. And, okay. And you want to chew? He goes, you want to spit your gum out? And I said, no, I'm good. Just sat there and just kept chewing. And he thought that was the funniest thing in the world. He laughed hard. He goes, let me get this straight. You've done absolutely nothing before this, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, no, I'm in a band, and that's it. But then, I spent the next 40 minutes in his casting, room there with him, and he was basically spelling out what the show looks like and what it's like. Is that something you want to do? And I'm like, well, yeah. Got the call back the next day. They sent me out to that audition camp that year, which was basically, they called it an audition camp, which was very like kid friendly and age. But really, it was a major studio executive callback. Went out there just going, what is this? And kind of thinking like I already had the part based on the way he was describing it. And then I got out there and everyone was like freaking out, hoping that they'd get the part. I was like, what? Realized like, okay, this is it. This is A-game time, man. And so yeah, that was it. That was when I joined the cast at the top of season 4.
Wow. Well, that's cool. And that's a good nugget to know that you had to go through like really kind of a stringent process, like where you thought you had it made and then you were really re-auditioning again. So one of the things that we're understanding with the whole process of becoming a Mickey Mouse Club member and being a part of the cast is that you had to go through some pretty rigorous training. And so one of the things that I'd like to ask you about is, what was like the one key lesson or takeaway that you got from being a part of the Mickey Mouse Club and the training and the whole journey that you went through?
Realized, I guess early on, I realized, and again, all of this is vivid Technicolor in hindsight, you know, but we realized at the time that we had a pretty legit work ethic. You know, coming into this, we all were very enthusiastic about getting after the work, and to the tune of it not even being regarded as work, really. Like, it was just, get to go to work. Yeah, you know, we're all excited to go to work. And when we got there, it was just, yeah, it was like, there was a really wonderful spirit of, a quiet spirit of competition that wasn't your average competition. It wasn't like some athletic realm of competition, but it was like, we really did enjoy watching each other grow and encouraging each other. And, you know, my God, I can't tell you how awesome it would be to be in a dance number that Brittany was in, because I knew, like, I could ask her how this goes. Like, if I missed a dance lesson on a particular song, I'd be like, all right, Brittany, come over here, show me how this goes. And, you know, like, knowing who you could go to and lean on for certain things, and where and when you could lift somebody up, you know, it just really, and again, the older we get and the more you're going to see life beyond our little sandbox there, you really start to see that, like, that was something really wonderful and truly unique. And I think that's what has galvanized our bonds all these years, you know. It's no surprise to me that Dale and Chase have seen so much fortuitous, like, serendipity in putting this whole event together, because they've earned it. We've all sort of earned it, and by that I mean, like, we're made for this. we're qualified to do this, and we're capable of it. And it's been really awesome watching it all come together. I'm super proud of Dale and Chase, and have been you know, as available to them as I can be for, you know, input and insight and help.
Well, awesome. So we kind of recapped, like, how you got started as a club member, and then the lessons and takeaways that you got from it. Let's speed up to today, where you're doing today. How did your experience by being a part of the Mickey Mouse Club help you to get where you are today, the lessons that you learned, and, like, what are you doing career-wise now and professionally?
Yeah, I you know, I had definitely always grown up with the dream of making music, of making records, and you know, this quickly became an obvious path, a potential path on the heels of the show. You know, I dabbled with the acting thing for a while, just because some of those opportunities opened up a bit sooner, but that wasn't what brought me. You know, the music was definitely what got me in the door, and was where my passion always resided. But yeah, I think for me, man, it's just like, it's very simple. It was the fans and the fan base. You know, these days in the music industry, you know, I've got all these friends and people that I know that are trying to get started, and, you know, starting a mailing list, or starting, you know, to try and book shows. They want to go on tour, but they don't have any tour experience. And, like, okay, yeah, it's a little easier now with the internet to make fans outside of your little neck of the woods. But man, I still, even with those tools that are available now, I can't fathom ever trying to have created a national fan base from scratch. You know, I had a tremendous leg up, and I did everything I could, you know, find those people, let them know I'm out there, let them know I'm making music, and find the chat rooms. And, you know, back on AOL and Earthlink and Webcrawler and all this stuff, and before Google and Facebook and MySpace, it was like, you know, yeah, really trying to find these people and make that connection, preserve that connection, and to this day, you know, cherish it. I really, you know, I am one of the fortunate ones that left the show and went on to make a full-blown, full-time career of making music, and I know without a doubt that would not have been possible without the love and encouragement and support of the fans that I made 28 years ago. Yeah, crazy.
Well, awesome. Well, you actually led into the next question that I wanted to ask you, which is, you know, there's a lot of people in today's modern age with technology, social media. Like, you know, I like to say that the entrepreneur is the new rock star, right? Like, everybody dreams about being a rock star. Now a lot of people dream about being an entrepreneur and like people in the entertainment realm are wanting to cross over into the business and entrepreneur realm? Because in essence, as an entertainer, you are an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just not you walk in and perform and get a check, right? You have to create this platform. So with your experience in like the journey you've gone through, for someone who is wanting to become a successful entrepreneur in today's modern age of tech and social media and the challenges that it brings, what would your one piece of advice or tip be to those people?
Oh man, you pushed a big button, dude. Because that's I've actually started doing a lot of started doing some more public speaking and getting into that realm. Yeah, kind of crossing over, and started a movement called Be What You Do, the business of being what you do. When you are like I have been in the business of Tony Lucca for 30 years, and like you said, that is it. As entrepreneurs, that's what it's all about. And I talk a lot about fulfillment, and what it takes to find it, and where what it takes to maintain it, and let it drive your every decision as you go on. But I don't know, man. I think as far as advice goes, though, and this is something I have given to a lot of people. And when I look back on my career, it's not like I would just give people the advice, well, this is working for me, because obviously I'm easily surpassable. That you can get a whole lot bigger and larger in esteem than myself. But when I look back and think about the things that maybe I could have done differently, that's the advice I try to give to people and say, like, I think the one thing I might have suffered from early on was affording myself a sufficient amount of accountability, and finding, that now a lot of entrepreneurs refer to it as, finding a mentor or mentorship or a team of mentors, and you really can't put a price tag on having a respectable presence or team member or someone in your corner in your camp that you trust and that you respect. That wants you to succeed, that has your best interest at heart, but is also not a yes man, and that they're going to tell you what's up. Like I was always afraid to co-write and let other people produce my records early on, and my ego made it clear that like I didn't need that, but in truth my ego was scared shitless, and it was like I was just really insecure, and I didn't want anyone to get that close for fear that they may say my songs kind of sucked and that they need to be rewritten, or that I should scrap them all together. Like I couldn't afford that kind of rejection, and I think that's why I didn't work out so well in acting, because it's just like pummeling of rejection on a daily basis. And I was like, I gotta write something and record something so I have something to show for my efforts, and that's how that all kind of came about. But definitely, I would say, finding a trustworthy source of accountability in what you're doing, a sounding board, and someone who maybe is a little further down the road than you, so that they can tell you what to anticipate when you get there.
Awesome. So obviously the big event's coming up here in Florida. And so with the Mickey Mouse Club reunion events, the 30-year anniversary, what excites you the most and is motivating you to participate in this event? And then also, what would you tell someone who is considering attending the event themselves about why they might want to attend?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, again, the fans, to get back to the fans and say, thank you guys, and let them realize, we are so grateful that you made our lives possible. I mean, again, me specifically, you guys have been putting food on my table for 30 years. Like, this is a big deal for me, and I want to express that gratitude to them. But realistically, like, I mean, the closer we get to it, the more emails and, Facebook messaging threads that everyone's talking and communicating more and more with one another. I'm just getting really excited to see everybody. It's like, I kind of went to my 20-year high school class reunion, kicking and screaming, like it kind of had to drag me there, but it turned out to be pretty cool. This is just the opposite, man. Like I feel like a little kid again. I am really excited to see everybody, try to catch up with everybody as much as possible. And I think if you're a fan and you were a fan of the show, and you're going to see it's going to be emotional. I can't imagine it won't be emotional. Like, just a beautiful gathering of us all, and to watch us genuinely it won't be acting when you get there. You know us as actors, and even though we played ourselves on the show, it was our job to come out and say, "Hey, welcome to Mickey Mouse Club. I'm Tony Lucca," and those were my lines. It was simple enough to say it, but like when you come to this, we won't be acting. We're going to be like genuinely in tears, hugging and just embracing each other and celebrating what we all shared in common. And I wouldn't miss that. If I was a fan, there's no way I'd miss that. I'm not going to miss it. I am a fan. What am I talking about?
Well, awesome. Well, the organization of Walt Disney, the Mickey Mouse Club, precedes itself, has bred an incredible ecosystem of success for all the people that have participated in that journey. But let's get outside the realm of Walt Disney for a second. So if there was one person in the world that you would like to meet, right, that's here alive with us today, because you never know, they might read or see this at some point. There's one person in the world that you would like to connect with and meet, who would that be?
Man, wow, that's a big one, man. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to shake hands with like an Elon Musk type, a Jack White type. One of these like Willy Wonka types. These guys that everyone's just like, what? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, people that just fascinate and just really dabble in the realm of what if and why not, and I think that was a large part of like who Walt Disney was, and the whole concept of the Imagineer. Right? It's just such a cool notion, man. So yeah, I would have to either say Elon Musk or Jack White.